Hi, welcome to Pammie Plus Parks. I am Pammie, your plus size fairy godmother, bringing you all the magic Disney and Florida has to offer plus size people. And I really thank you for joining me tonight. Before I get into it, because there's just a couple people who have stopped in. Hey, Sheena. Um, I want to let you know that I'm always constantly doing like these live streams for plus size people who travel to Disney, and I've got tons of great videos on here that include ride videos that show you how to get on and off of rides as a plus size person, and basically just how to navigate Disney and life as a plus size person. So if you're watching this video on YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the great Disney plus size videos. In fact, if you look right over here, you can see I'm editing right now. I took a little break to talk to you guys, but I'm right in the middle of editing a video for plus size shopping at Hollywood Studios. Hi, Kathy from Houston. Hi, Christina Gale. Hi, Karen. It's so great to see everybody. Thank you for joining us. So, like I said, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and click on that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of these amazing videos for plus size dining, plus size rides, plus size shopping. But let's go ahead and get started on the topic for today. So a lot of you saw in the Pammie Plus Parks Facebook group or in the Disney Pals Plus Facebook group that I was going to talk to you about a couple of topics. One of them being my brand new park shoes, which I'm going to show you in a second. And the other one is going to be, hi Melissa from Rhode Island, and the other is going to be about the Walk of Shame, which you probably saw in the title of this video. And we'll talk about that in detail. And you're going to see a very passionate side of Pammie that you may have not seen before. Hey Serena, hey Alan, it's so good to see you guys here. All right, so yesterday, Mark and I went to JCPenney to get some new sneakers because we both needed them really bad. And they're having a great sale. I don't get any sort of kickback from JCPenney. I just shop there. They have like this sale right now where it's 50% off. Buy one, get one 50% off. Oh, it's the Andersons Love and Life. You guys check out their channel, the Andersons Love and Life. It's awesome. It's great to see you. I bet that's Stacy, right? So they're having a 50% off. So buy one, get one 50% off. And we both went ahead and got some sneakers. And I got these great New Balance shoes. And take a look at them. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but these are millennial pink. They're the perfect shade of Disney millennial pink. So if you have any, hey Matt, if you have any Disney Spirit jerseys or the Magic Bands or the ears or anything like that that are in millennial pink, I've seen, oh my, Sheena, thank you so much for that. Sheena gave us a great $15 contribution. Thank you so much. Sheena, that will definitely go to my next park trip. I love you too, Sheena. Thank you. So I wanted to share this simply, not just because it was a great deal, but in a fantastic color, but because JCPenney does have such great deals. And what's great about these shoes for park shoes is they do have that 1 inch that you need here, at least an inch of support underneath. And when you squeeze it, it's firm. It has a little bit of softness, a little bit of give, but it's not too hard. So it's a good shock absorber. Plus, these shoes also come with removable memory foam pads, so you can wash them, clean them, dry them out, which is perfect for when you're in the parks a lot, if it rains or if your feet get sweaty. The other part of it is that they're nice and flexible, and they're fabric, so they'll dry really quick. So, oh my gosh, Jenna, thank you so much. Working with a friend on a project, just wanted to stop by and support your channel. Thank you, Jenna. Yes, watch this later. Thank you so much. Thank you for that super chat. So yeah, guys, if you're looking for your park shoes and you don't know where to go, and you know you like New Balance or Nike or any of those other top brands, they've got Asics, they got everything at JCPenney. They always have good prices and they always have all kinds of sales. So check them out. I think it's a fantastic place to get shoes. They had lots of really good styles and colors too, even better than I've seen in some of the running stores. These do come in a wide width, and I tried them on in a wide width. That's something you should know. I do have quite a wide foot. I couldn't wear the wides. They were too wide. And these were perfect. These are a B. They're medium, and they fit great. So I highly recommend them. And when it got to the end of the day today, after being on my feet for like 10, 12 hours off and on all day, I did not want to take them off. They felt so good. So That's a great recommendation for a shoe. New Balance are definitely really good shoes. They're a little expensive. They're $70, but you only have one pair of feet. You got to take care of them, especially if you're in the parks. All right. Now we're moving on to the topic that has got me buzzing. You ever have one of those things where you have a phrase or a subject or something that just rolls over in your head over and over again and you can't get out of your head, and every time you turn around it keeps popping up over and over again? For me, it's been walk of shame. The term walk of shame, I keep hearing it over and over and over again the last couple of days. It's just been, I can't get it out of my head. And I have very strong feelings about that term. Walk of shame is something that a lot of plus size people use that term to describe having to leave a ride because they didn't fit. Well, I got news for you. I'm old. Well, not really old, but I'm 48. So when I was going to college in the South in the late 80s, early 90s, when we said someone was doing a walk of shame, it was always a term used for young women. You know, you're out at a fraternity party, or you were out having a good time with your friends drinking at a local pub, and maybe you met some boy and things went a little further than they should have gone, and you know, you end up crawling back home to your dorm room with your shoes in your hand, wearing the same outfit you wore the night before, doing the walk of shame back to your dorm room. And back then, in those days, if a girl drank too much and she lost her inhibitions, it was perfectly acceptable for a young man to take advantage of her. Nowadays, we call that date rape, sexual harassment, and sexual assault. So when people use the term walk of shame, it to me reminds me all the times that I had a girlfriend who would tell me some sad story about some boy who took advantage of her at a party, basically raping her or sexually assaulting her. So that's not a rated G term. That's not a good term to use, in my opinion, that I like to see on my Facebook group. I like my Facebook group, Pammie Plus Parks, to be rated G. So I don't ever want to see that term written out on my page again. I'm not going to flay someone or roast someone for using that term. Hey Gemma, hey Melissa. I'm not going to flay you for that if you use the term on my Facebook page, but I think there's a better term that we can use that explains leaving a ride because you didn't fit, and taking the word shame out of it, because we shouldn't be ashamed of that. One time I did a live stream and somebody left a comment on here saying that, yes, Ears for Everyone says that they associate it. Okay, so you get it. You understand that walk of shame is like sexual assault. You get it. You get where I'm coming from with that, and why it's a lousy term for leaving a ride early. So I asked a bunch of people like to give me their ideas for like terms that we could use, and somebody suggested in a comment on one of my videos that we use early exit, and I cannot remember who said it, but I research it, I will figure it out and credit that person because they are a genius. Because early exit is gender neutral, it's rated G, and guess what? It explains exactly what's happening. You are exiting a ride earlier than you wanted to, and there's no shame involved with it. You know, I'm really tired of us being ashamed when we don't fit on something, and walking around and feeling ashamed and downhearted and downtrodden. I don't want to see that anymore. You know, I think of it like this. If I went into a shoe store, right? Okay, because we were talking about sneakers earlier. If I went into a shoe store and they didn't have my shoe size, would I do the walk of shame out of that store because they weren't carrying my shoe size? They didn't have something that fit me? No, I go somewhere else. Like, you know how you go to Universal and you don't fit on the Universal rides? You go to Disney because you fit on the Disney rides. But I'm not ashamed that they don't have my shoe size in a store. So why am I ashamed if I don't fit on a ride? I think it's because people think, they believe and they think other people think they should have more control over their weight, and that their weight, hey Carol, that their weight is their fault. And You didn't control your weight. You don't fit, so you should be ashamed of that. There's all kinds of reasons why people don't fit. It's the stares you get. Lawrence, you say you get stared at. Lawrence, if you were the most attractive person on earth, people would stare at you. If you were 10 feet tall, people would stare at you. If you were 4 feet tall, people will stare at you. If you have a scar, they'll stare at you. If you have the most beautiful, glorious golden hair, they'll stare at you. People are gonna stare at you. People will judge you no matter what. They'll judge you if you're pretty. They'll judge you if you're ugly. They'll judge you if you're rich. They'll judge you if you're poor. They'll judge you if you're skinny, if you're fat, if you're tall, if you're short. They will judge you. And they're gonna stare no matter what. So what? Look at me. Look at me. I don't care. I mean, I care. I want to be healthy. I want to be happy. I want people to think well of me. But if you don't, then go stare at something else. If you don't like me, go stare at something else. I've got nothing to be ashamed of. You know why? Because I'm kind, I'm decent, I'm hardworking, I pay my taxes, I volunteer in my community, I give to charity, I care about people, I treat them with respect and dignity, and I'm fat. I'm also fat. That's one of the other things that I am. It's one of many things that I am. I'm not perfect. And if my imperfection is the fact that my body has more fat on it than you would like it to be, all right, then that's my imperfection. And you can stare at it as much as you want to. You can laugh at me. Oh, I hope you laugh at me. I hope you laugh at my body. I hope you laugh when you look at me. Because I feel like I didn't have to do anything, and I created joy in that person's life. I have given them delight. I have made them feel better about themselves as a human being because they laugh at me. People who stare, Sheena says, yeah, people stare. People stare at everyone. They're not just staring at fat people. They're staring at everybody. Everybody. You don't stare? You never stared at anyone because their outfit looked funny, or they're wearing a kooky hat, or their glasses are on crooked, or their eyebrows are all over the place? We all stare. Carol says, my newest thing is, you don't like the way I look, then look at something else. Exactly. Don't judge me by the cover. I'm an amazing and beautiful person. You absolutely are right. My Schnook says she goes to a counselor and she never explained it as well as I have. 1022 says, I stare right back, then they quickly act the fool. And Stephanie says, someday I'm going to get where you are, Pammie, sooner rather than later. You know, I hope that you do, because this is your life. It is your life to live. There can be no shame in your game. Let me tell you something. Let's just say you're fat and you're happy with it. You don't like the way you look. You want to be healthier. If you are ashamed of yourself, if you're walking around with shame, how are you going to make yourself go swimming for exercise, or go running, or go to the gym? How are you going to get yourself into an outfit to go run and play with your kids and get active? How are you going to go roller skating or get yourself to go to an exercise class if you're filled with shame about your body? How are you going? I have been in the position where I have been at the grocery store and I have like filled up my cart with vegetables and fruits and lean meats and whole grains, and had people stare at me like, oh, you know, she's going to go eat a bucket of chicken in the back or something, right? Hi, Sarah. You know, I know people are thinking in their head, well, she's faking it. All that stuff's going to go in the garbage. She'll eat that. Well, the truth is the matter. I know I do eat it. I know I do eat all that healthy stuff, but I can't control other people's thoughts. I can't be feeling shameful. Christina says, my mom always says if we knew how little people cared, we would be insulted instead of embarrassed, because people are so self-centered, they only care what they look like. And that's true, Christina. Most people just care about what they look like, and they like only give you maybe 2 seconds of their time. Sheena says, I have 2 kids with autism, and it's crazy how many adults stare. This made me care a lot less about what people think, because I can't control others. You can't, but you can control yourself and how you show compassion to others. That's right, Sheena. And if you've got shame in your game, you are not going to have any gains in your life. You're not going to have anything good happen if you're walking around hating yourself. Carol says, my new co-worker friend has been an amazing help to me to get me out of my box. I have bought girly clothes and shorter, more feminine. Between her, you, and I am becoming so important. I don't know if I'm getting that right. I'm sorry. But yeah, so you got to like do things. You got to get out of your shell, out of your box. The Andersons Live in Life says people only put others down because they don't have any confidence in themselves. And that's true. It's like if you're in the happiest place on earth in Disney and you're spending your time looking at the size of my booty and worrying about my booty and laughing at my booty, well, I don't know. Like, get a life. You know? Oh, empowered. Carol says empowered. Okay. So yeah, that's how I feel. Like if you're walking around and you're feeling ashamed of yourself and ashamed of your body and ashamed of what you look like all the time, you're never going to have any successes because you'll be too inhibited. Sarah says, I'm 350 pounds and I get looks at the gym, but what they don't know is I used to be 450 pounds and I'm on a journey that they know nothing about. Yes, sister, that is absolutely right. People don't know what you're going through and what you've done. Little Oz Laurel says, too skinny to be noticed. I don't have anything against people who are thin or at different sizes. I have no issue with anyone of different sizes. Hi, Catherine. I had a friend who was extremely slim. She always weighed under 100 pounds, and she would cry all the time. And she would hide her tears and be afraid to talk to people about it because people were always saying to her, oh, you're so skinny, you're so thin, you're so skinny. And it actually hurt her feelings. It made her feel bad about her body. And she felt like she was ugly and bony and nobody wanted to be around her. She thought none of the boys liked her or anything like that in high school. And I was like, oh, okay, so people of different sizes all have their issues. Everybody gets stared at. Everybody gets made fun of. Everybody gets hurt. You know, it's not just a fat person thing. So, you know, let's just stop saying walk of shame and use a different term. Let's talk about early exit because you're exiting that ride earlier than you wanted to. And when you, I don't know, if you want to, when I'm done with this video and it's posted as a regular video, you want to share this to different people, you want to put it on your Facebook feed, you want to share it in another group, or even if you don't want to do it on social media and you just want to talk to people in person, start using the term early exit. Christina says the only thing valued by the pound is cold cuts, not people. This is true. 1022 says ultimately if anyone says something or stares awkwardly, it's because they are unhappy some way inside, and that's a them problem. Yeah, you don't know what they're fighting. If that makes them feel happy to laugh at me or make a remark, that's fine. Let them do that. That's all they have going in their life. Matt says, Disney is about letting the true you shine, going for the first time this September, and this channel has made me realize that I need to go and let my Disney fan flag fly. Yes, you do. You do. Sarah Holloway, hashtag early exit. Yes, 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 yes. Let's make that go viral. Early exit. Christine, are you serious? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that super chat. That's amazing. Those contributions that you give me go towards my trips to the parks. They pay for gas. They pay for lunch. They go towards renewing my annual pass. They will make these videos continue so I can continue to create a great resource for everyone. Carol says, thanks to a daily choice to try and make good choices, but I didn't put it on overnight and it will not come off overnight. Man, that is how weight is. Little Oz says she's going to share this information with her niece. Yes. I don't remember having to early exit anywhere at Disney. Somebody's already using hashtag early exit. Thank you, Gary. But it has been about 10 years ago. Yeah. Christine, I'm so glad that getting to talk to each other live is kind of like help make your day a little better. It's made my day a little better, that's for sure. I love getting to talk to all of you guys and share with you. I'm going to stay on a few more minutes longer and just again, like let's just try to make hashtag early exit and try to make early exit the thing and just start using it when you start talking about that. Thank you, Little Oz. Thank you so much for that contribution. Thank you so much for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Alan, Flight of Passage was the only early exit I have ever had. And I'll tell you what, it was a good experience. The queue was amazing. The pre-boarding was amazing. Yes, Sarah, when you see somebody use the term walk of shame, gently correct them. All you need to do is, like, if you in a comment underneath theirs, just reply to their comment, hashtag early exit. It's just like, let's make it happen. But yeah, the experience I had when I made an early exit off of Flight of Passage was really positive. Like I said, the queue is really amazing. The pre-boarding was really amazing. You're welcome, Michelle. I think it's something we all need to hear. We do need to love ourselves. You've got to take the shame out of the game. Like I said, if you are ashamed of your body and you're ashamed of what you look like and you're ashamed of yourself and you're hating yourself, you're never going to be able to get out there and do the stuff you need to do to live a rich, full life and take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. But if you love yourself, you're going to take care of yourself. Gary says, I remember writing Tower of Terror on the third person seat with a young newlywed couple. The bar held me, but they had a lot of space. The cast member grinned and said, don't worry about it. Right? Isn't that, cast members are amazing, aren't they? Yeah, Alan, the queue for Flight of Passage is amazing. The pre-boarding is amazing. The cast member knelt down beside me to help me very discreetly. She tried several times, really, really sweet, very quiet. And then she just, she said, I'm really sorry. I don't think this is going to work. Come with me, though, okay? So I got up and walked behind everyone. No one saw me leave. No one noticed. It's a dimly lit room. You walk behind everybody. There's only 15 other people in the room. We walked out the door. She introduced me to the girl who was standing outside, to the cast member out there, gave me some fast passes to me and my husband. So one for a Navi River journey and another one for whatever ride we wanted to go on that day. And I actually felt great. I was bouncing around after I left. I was like, woo, I didn't ride, but I got all these free passes, so it was great. Oh, thank you, Little Oz. Thank you so much for joining us for as long as you could. Thank you so much for your contribution. I greatly appreciate it. I hope that you can share this message with your niece and that she receives it really well and knows that she's loved and she's valued and she's amazing and she's going to have a fantastic life if she just embraces that. Christina, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hashtag early exit. Thank you for that $10 contribution, Christina. Thank you so much. You got the fast pass for Everest. I love Everest. Isn't that a fun ride? I wasn't scared to go on that ride at all because I had already been on Rock and Roller Coaster and I was terrified of Rock and Roller Coaster. I knew it had like those, what do they call them? The rolls, like where you roll, and then it also had the big loop. There were like 3 of them. I was like, oh, I'm going to lose my lunch. It's going to be awful. That's what I was embarrassed about. I wasn't embarrassed about whether or not I was going to fit. I was worried I was going to throw up. But it turns out it goes so quickly you don't even notice it's happening. So it was a super fun ride. Corkscrew. Gary, that's what I was trying to say. Corkscrew. Let's see. Sarah says the Slinky Dog looks roomy. 45 days till you try it. This past week I did the Void with no issues, so my confidence is growing. Slinky Dog is really kind of like a great starter coaster for kids. Like big time roller coaster, but very family friendly. There's no rolls, there's no loops, there's no spirals, it's super smooth. It glides. You don't have that. You know how on some roller coasters they go ticka 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 ticka. You have 2 launches, so you just kind of gently glide out. You don't go ticka 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 ticka, which to me is like very nerve-wracking. So I don't know. It's just a very smooth, fun coaster. You're totally gonna love that. There's not gonna be Sarah. You're gonna love it. Alan also loves Rock and Roller Coaster. It's fantastic. Christy says, I had a hashtag early exit. Yes! Sorry. On Haunted Mansion about 7 years ago, I was a wreck, but my little brother, who's a cast member now, made me feel like $1 million. A year later, I went back. Haunted Mansion was my first ride. You know that there's, I'm sure since your brother was a cast member, you know there's this thing called stop cars. So if you go on Haunted Mansion and you go through the queue, and you go into the stretching room, you get through the stretching room, you step through the doorway, look to your right, and there's like a doorway that's dimly lit, and there's always a couple of cast members in there. Go up to one of them and say, can I please have a stop car? I want a lap bar with a little extra room. And they'll just take you and walk you around the line and get you boarded onto one of those stop cars. The stop cars have lap bars that are a little more generous. So if you feel like you need that, you should be okay. I weigh 350 pounds. I'm only 5'4", and I don't need a stop car. So you should fit fine. But you know, like some people, it just depends. Like they're sensitive about it, or they're worried or nervous. Ask for help. Ask a cast member. They'll be able to get you on one of those stop cars. Christina says, Rock and Roller Coaster is one of my faves. Second to Everest. So excited to do Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Seeing your video gives me the confidence. Excellent. Alan says he wants to try the Void. I'm worried that he'd have to run or climb. You love, Gary, you love the tick of a roller coaster. No, I don't love that sound. I love being on a roller coaster. I love the drop. But that climb up when you're going tick, 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 I feel my stomach drop. I don't like it. See. They have seatbelt extenders on Splash Mountain, Gary says. Really? At Walt Disney World? Because it's a lap bar. I don't imagine that. It's not a seatbelt on Splash Mountain. So I don't know how you would... Do you mean Cali River Rapids? Or maybe a different ride? Or in California? I don't know. Gary will have to clarify that, because on Splash Mountain they don't have lap bars. Oh, he says maybe they changed it since I was there. Possibly, but I don't remember a time when it had seat belts. But I'm old and losing my memory and my mind, so I don't know. But yeah. I always feel weird taking a drink when I'm live, because I'm like, you have to watch me drink liquid. How strange is that? 102276 says, I'm fearful of riding Splash Mountain because the seats in the logs look... I will try it out during After Dark when there isn't a long line. That's a good idea. I hope you're not getting Alzheimer's, Gary. That would be terrible. Yeah, try the rides out. My favorite thing to do at Magic Kingdom when I'm on my own and I'm not vlogging is to get there at rope drop. I'm learning how to speak English. And just like jet on over to Splash Mountain, because there's no one there. There's not a wait. You just get on the ride that, you get a little bit wet, and then I get on Big Thunder Mountain and I dry off. And there's no wait for that either. Sarah says, I'm 5'3", and riding the front seat in Splash Mountain hurt my knees. Not much leg room, but doable. Oh, I've never ridden on the front of the log in Splash Mountain. Yeah, I always sit in one of the back seats. I've never... You can always ask for that, you know. Anytime you don't want to sit in a particular seat, or there's a seat you want, just let the cast member know. And you know what I do is I kind of let them know, like, I'm not asking to be a jerk, but because I need it. So what I do when I ask is I say, may I please have the whatever seat for comfort, or for my comfort I really need to sit, or I feel most comfortable when sitting. You know, that way they know that it's about comfort and it's not about you being kind of a turkey and trying to get a better seat than other people. Alan, 7 Dwarfs Mine Train hurt my knees too. Not in the front, but because the lap bar that comes down, it has a 13.5-inch clearance to get your knees through, and I have gigantic knees. Don't ride Thunder Mountain with a bad sunburn, Gary says. Yeah, you shouldn't do that. You would probably get back. I imagine, like, getting tossed around in there, it would hurt your sunburn. Oh, if you sit in the whatever concourse you're on in Soarin', if you sit in section B, your row will like have you in the center, and you won't see the bendy Eiffel Tower. That makes sense. I don't mind the bendy Eiffel Tower. I'm fine with that. I like sitting on the end. I don't care what row I'm on. I just like hanging off the side there, not feeling like... I mean, I can sit in a middle seat. I just have a tendency to like wrap my arms like this and hang on to them, so I don't feel like I'm touching other people. Because I just feel paranoid about like being in another person's space, so I end up sitting like this, and I sit so squished that I don't really enjoy the ride, so I like sitting on the end. Any news of Dinosaur's facelift? I got so bumped around last time, like it hurts. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Dinosaur being facelifted. They do one every 5 years on the rides. They get big renovations every 5 years. You rode Soarin' after you had a flu shot? That must have been fun. I mean, flu shots make me kind of woozy. And then, I don't get woozy on Soarin', but I imagine if I were being flown around and then tilted with the big giant screen, I don't know, that could make you kind of woozy. That was probably something you shouldn't have done. All right, guys. Well, I'm glad I had this time to talk to you. I've been chatting for about 30 minutes. I don't want to take up any more of your time today. Take a Dramamine, that's for sure. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope that you check out JCPenney for some great shoes. They have a great sale going on this week. Buy one, get one 50% off. No, I am not an affiliate of JCPenney, and they don't kick back any money to me. I just like the store. Thank you, Robin. I got this top from Torrid, and they don't have this particular pattern, but they do have other tops in this cut, in this style, with different colors and patterns. So guys, have a magical evening, and don't forget, hashtag early exit. Use it all the time. You're welcome, my schnook. Use that hashtag early exit. Take the shame out of your game so you can have some gains in your life. Remember, it's all about you leading a rich, full, productive, happy life. And you cannot be ashamed of yourself and be happy at the same time. Take that shame out of your game. Early exit. Use it. All right, guys. Oh, one thing. Michelle Wyatt. Pammie, is there any ride you just like riding because of comfort? That I get on just because of the comfort? My favorite relaxation ride is the People Mover. There's tons of room on it. You get a breeze, and it's a 10-minute long ride. And if I ride by myself, I can put my feet on the other bench and rest. So that one is what I would say. All right, guys, I got to wrap it up. You have a fantastic evening. If you have any other comments or questions or anything like that, be sure to leave them in the comments down below. And don't forget, hashtag early exit. I'll see you guys real soon. Good night.